Hey, this is Sasha, and I want to welcome you to episode number 193 of Let's Talk Stocks. And today we're going to look at the 8 common option trading questions and answers about trading Iron Condors. Now, we're doing this lesson because we just released the Options Mastery Iron Condors course, which is 33 modules and over 19 hours long. So if you're interested in serious Iron Condor training, this is what this course is about, leading you from all the way the basics of understanding what an Iron Condor is, to the construction of an Iron Condor, to setting up a trade, to trading and managing an Iron Condor. So it goes all the way through the process, and that's why it is 19 hours long. It's not just a short, quick little video, hey, this is everything you need to know in 2 hours. No, this is in-depth training. If you're serious about your training, this is what this course covers, is in-depth Iron Condors mastery. Now, you can go ahead to our website on tradersfly.com and click the button, and it'll take you to our Rise to Learn website, which is where we have all our courses. It's segmented that way to keep things easier, from the critical chart members to all the people who just get the courses. And you can watch a few sample clips here on our promotional video. This course in special, I'll tell you, is right around 50% off. And I won't mention the price here just because prices can change and fluctuate with time, but it will be one of the best deals that we have on this course, probably for quite a long time or many years to come. So if you're serious about trading Iron Condors, this is the course to get. Now, it will be open here to purchase over the next week and a half or two, but if you want to go ahead and get it next month, it's really not going to be available. We're going to close it down for a couple months and reopen it a bit later, because we want to get some feedback from everybody, make sure there's no major missing pieces within the course, and if there are, we can go ahead and add those modules in there. I don't think there should be, but we're going to double check and grab some feedback from people who submit their feedback, and then we'll expand the course if we need to. So with that in mind, get the course if you're interested in it and you want to get the course at a good deal, and you want to get it in the next month or two, because it's not going to be available until probably about September, October, after this promotion. So with that in mind, let's take a look at some of the common questions regarding Iron Condors. And I want to share these with you so that way you kind of get an insight of, hey, these might be some of the questions I have about trading Iron Condors or options. So let me answer those for you. I sent a quick email about it the other night, but I want to go in more depth with this video. So first off, why would anyone trade Iron Condors, and what's really the point of trading Iron Condors? Well, when you look at investments in general, there's nothing wrong with putting your money in a regular dividend-paying stock, letting it sit and appreciating with time and collecting your dividends. If you want to be a little more of an active trader and collect premium every single month, let's say, kind of like a dividend, Iron Condors would be the way to do it. In addition, you don't need to choose a direction, whereas with a stock, you have to kind of choose, hey, it's going to go up, is it going to go down? So you need to choose a stock that's heading higher. With Iron Condors, you are trading non-directionally. Now, yes, you can skew some things to be a little more bullish or bearish, but in general, you can go ahead and set that position up. If the stock doesn't move at all, you can still make money. If the stock moves up a little bit, you can make money. If the stock moves up a medium amount, you can still make money. If it moves up a lot, that's where you struggle. If it moves down a little bit, you make money. If it moves down medium amount, you still might be okay. If it moves down a lot, again, you could be in some trouble. So basically, this is non-directional trading, because what happens is stocks will go up, they'll pull back a little bit, they might power higher and pull back. And that's the point with Iron Condors, is you don't need to choose a direction, you kind of just need to choose a range. And the reason it works so well is because you're looking at time premium decay. Just like insurance companies, they sell you time premium on insurance for if you get in a car accident, well, you've purchased that amount of time and they'll pay you out if things go against you. But, if nothing happens, well, they just collect that money. And this is what you do with Iron Condors, is you're selling this premium to where, hey, if things don't explode to the moon or you don't have a major crash, then you'll be collecting that premium time and time again. And that's why you would want to trade Iron Condors, is because most of the time stocks are not doing much. They might go sideways, they might power up a little bit, they might pull back a bit, and they're usually trading in a range. And that's why this strategy and these types of trades work out so well. Let's look at the next question. How long does it take to learn to trade options? This is a difficult question to answer because it's going to really depend on a few factors. I mean, your commitment overall, how good you are at seeing yourself evolve, and just, how much time you put into things. I mean, some people never really get there because, well, they stop at a point and they don't want to pick up another book. They just start trading options or Iron Condors and they try to figure things out on their own. But, it's tough to write an essay or a book if you don't know how to speak English or how to write or create a word structure, right? Give a monkey a keyboard and eventually it'll create and write a page or a paragraph. But, if you have some basic knowledge of the language, well, you can do it much faster, right? So the same thing here is that, well, you can speed up the process through courses, through books, through coaching sessions, through watching videos. It all speeds up the process. I would say in general, at least 1 to 3 years minimum is kind of how long it takes to really get a good grasp of understanding option trading. And that's just the sheer fact of putting on trades consistently, doing it time and time again, making adjustments and tweaks, and just seeing how the market evolves. Some people may take 10 to 20 years. Other people may get it in a year. So for everybody, it's a little bit different, but it really just depends how much you invest in yourself, your personal education, your awareness, how aware you are to seeing, hey, this is where I'm screwing up. Because a lot of people, they don't like to look in the mirror and admit to themselves, hey, oh, I really did a bad thing here. Most people will brush it off and push it to something else, saying, hey, well, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't because of me. They don't take responsibility. They'll put it on someone else, something else, because it's just a protectionism kind of thing that happens to us, is that we want to protect ourselves from the hurt or the damage and that ego. So if you can get rid of that, you'll definitely speed up that process. Let's take a look at the next question. How many years of trading do I need before I trade options? Actually, you don't really need any years of trading before you start trading options. You can start trading options almost right away. I would say a basic knowledge and understanding of overall market dynamics, or just the basics of how the market works, is important. So maybe 1 to 2 months of just studying the markets and what it really means. But you can get into option trading almost immediately after that, because option trading is its own kind of world. You don't need to go crazy with learning and understanding dividends if all you're doing is option trading, right? I mean, if you know and understand dividends, you probably also know and understand how the market operates, fear, greed, the range and the spread and the speeds of movements. Those things are always good to see. And that's why just having a couple of months just understanding how the market moves and behaves is good to have. But you could start trading options almost immediately because it's a different type of trading. You're looking at really trading spreads, and you got to work it from the ground up anyway to really understand and know what you're doing. So you don't really need 50 years of experience before you can go ahead and, trade options. Okay, looking at the next question, do you need to know technical analysis to trade options? Well, one of the other questions I answered, I mentioned that this is non-directional trading. And when you look at options overall, yes, you have directional option trading, like buying a single put, buying a single call. So yes, in that sense, technical analysis is helpful, and it will guide you in what way, bullish or bearish, to go with on a stock or a position. But overall, you don't really need a lot of technical analysis if you're doing non-directional trading, like with Iron Condors or any kind of spreads like a calendar spread. Yes, it will help to have some technicals, because now you can skew that Iron Condor, making it unbalanced, a little bit more bullish or a little more bearish, because you see something in the charts. But really, when you create an Iron Condor position or just working with spreads, you're putting on a non-directional trade, meaning now you start watching, well, where does the price move? And as the price moves in that direction and starts pressing against one of your break-even points, let's say a little to the right, a little to the left, meaning lower or higher, then you go ahead and tweak that position. So you're constantly tweaking and adjusting based on what you see in the conditions. And this is how the real big boys make money, is they're not really looking at, specific, hey, price direction. They're looking at what do I do with my position? And that's really what Iron Condors allow you to do, is since it's non-directional, it allows you to tweak that position rather than, hey, I need to choose a direction. So that's why the technical analysis doesn't apply as much. Can you use it and can it help? Yeah, absolutely. But would I say you absolutely need it? No, I wouldn't say you need it, but I would say it is definitely helpful to know some technical analysis because you want to know and understand how far stretched certain prices are to the upside or the downside. The next question is, besides Iron Condors, what else should I learn? So remember, Iron Condors is a strategy, okay? You're doing basically two verticals, a vertical on the left or the put side, a vertical on the right or the call side, and now you create two verticals to be able to collect and make premium or your time decay or theta. Now, when you look at Iron Condors, they are negative vega trades. That means that when volatility goes up, it hurts you. Okay, so what's really good to learn beyond just Iron Condors is to look at some positive vega trades. That would be things like double diagonals and calendars, because that helps offset some of that vega risk that you have, especially if you're trading a larger account, because a huge down move in stock prices will pop up that vega and volatility quite a bit, and that could damage your position quite a lot. So I would say combining verticals, Iron Condors, calendars, double diagonals, and butterfly spreads, putting those things together, knowing those few different strategies will give you a huge arsenal to be able to really trade options and be very flexible at it. So I would say some positive vega trades beyond Iron Condors is helpful, like calendars and diagonals, and that could help round you off. If you want to do something that's also negative vega, then go ahead and take a look at butterfly spreads as well. But again, butterflies with Iron Condors will increase your vega risk or volatility risk. So if you don't understand volatility yet at this point, we cover much more of that in the course. The next question is, how good are Iron Condors compared to other option strategies? I think Iron Condors are really good in the sense that they are much easier to understand because everything is in 1 month. Okay, everything you do is in 1 month. When you look at calendars, the reason they're called calendars is they're spread across multiple months. So when you do calendars, the spread of them is a little more complicated and difficult for people to grasp and hang on to. With Iron Condors, they're a little bit easier to understand because what happens is you're able to dictate your probabilities right through a panel. It tells you exactly, hey, I have a 40% chance of success or I have an 80% chance of success. Now, which one would you rather be on? Okay, most people would say 80% chance of success, of course, but you make less money. Well, would you rather be at 80% chance of success and make $100, or would you rather be at 40% chance of success and make $120? So for the extra $20, is it worth that lower value and probability? So anyways, this is the thing, is that when you look at strategies with Iron Condors, is that it's really flexible to looking at your probabilities. They're an easier way to get into options and they're less complicated. So it's a really good way to really get your foot in the door when it comes to trading options with Iron Condors, because other spreads, other strategies start becoming a little more difficult, just the construction of them themselves. Now, yes, you pay a little more in commissions because there's 4 legs to trading an Iron Condor. You need to sell one and buy one for protection, sell one and buy one for protection on the call side as well. So you pay maybe 1 or 2 more on per contract to create that spread or strategy, but it makes your life a lot easier in the management side, getting into them and so forth. So I think they're very good and especially great for as a starting point to getting into trading options. How do Iron Condors make money? Well, we briefly touched this, but basically Iron Condors make money through theta decay. Okay, so let's say you sell insurance, like a car insurance company does. When you sell that insurance, when people don't cash in on their insurance policy, you collect that money. So think of this as people every single month giving you money. $100, could be $500, could be $1,000 every month to insure or protect their stock. And that's what you're doing, is you're insuring their stock by selling at different strike prices, right? You're going out a little wider on the left and on the right side, and you're getting a little bit of premium, a little bit of money every single month, that stock just kind of stays in that little bit of range. Now, yes, sometimes things move a little bit higher and sometimes things move a little lower, but do you still get that insurance premium if the stock price went a little higher? Yes, absolutely, because let's just say you were riding in a car and you had a little nick and dent or a scratch on the door. Well, are you going to call your insurance company on that? No, probably not. But when you have some major issues, yes, you will call your insurance company. But when that stock is just moving a little bit to the upside and a little bit to the downside, even a slight bit, it could be, 2-3% higher, 2-3% lower, you could still collect on that insurance premium. And that's what happens, is that every month, it could be every 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, depending how far out you want to sell those Iron Condors, you're collecting your premium. For some people, they like to go out 60 days, 40 days. So every 40 days or 60 days, you're constantly getting that Iron Condor premium. Can you get out of them early? Absolutely. If things start to look a little bad, you could take a little bit of a hit and off-sell that insurance to someone else, but you do have to buy it back and take a slight little bit of hit. So anyways, that's how they basically make a bit of money when you're going and creating an Iron Condor trade. Now, why do some people never make any money from trading Iron Condors or options in general? And I've seen it happen before. I've seen it also where people make a lot of comments in just the YouTube channel saying, hey, I never made any money from Iron Condors. Hey, I never made any money from trading options. Well, a lot of times it is due to the knowledge gap. I mean, we've talked about the key 3 elements that you need to be able to really be successful with trading in general or trading options. So go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it. But really, it all stems from knowing and understanding how things work. So if you know and understand how things work, that's kind of a knowledge issue. So if you have a knowledge issue, well, you need to go ahead and get some of that knowledge. That's what our course is really all about. It's to give you that knowledge. The other thing is strategy. Okay, we talked about strategy in our previous episodes. Where, hey, if you don't have a good strategy, well, of course, you're just going to be all over the place. And then finally, it's going to be your actions. So if you're not taking actions, if you're not adjusting, those things are also going to play a part of your successes. Also, personal mentality, right, goes along with those actions. So, putting those 3 key things together, if you don't have the knowledge, well, that's kind of the basics, right? Without the knowledge, how do you create a strategy? And if you don't have a strategy, then you have no plan in mind. And then you got to do the actions. What people tend to do is they do the action, they do the trading, but they don't have the strategy or the knowledge. And how do you have a strategy if you don't have the right knowledge? So people start out backwards thinking that they already know a lot of times what they're doing, or they get a little bit of knowledge and insight. So they hop on over and they go ahead and do the action part, not realizing that they're still lacking the strategy or lacking the knowledge part. So anyways, this is one of the big reasons. Of course, there's many other reasons and factors, but just something for you to consider and think about. If you're struggling with Iron Condors or trading, take a look. Hey, do you think you have a knowledge problem? Maybe you have a strategy problem, or maybe it's yourself or the actions problem that you might be having. So, are you adjusting to the losses? Are you adjusting to your mentality? Are you too emotional about things? So all those things kind of work hand in hand and together. Anyways, I hope this was helpful and insightful to learning a little more about Iron Condors and options overall, or answered some of your questions regarding Iron Condors. And I hope it allows you to really see the bigger picture on some of the benefits behind Iron Condors trading, because it allows you to make money even when stocks don't move up. When stocks move down, you can still make the same amount of money, or when stocks stand still, because a lot of times they're just kind of isolating sideways. Now, if you want to get more insight on our course or just join us on our newsletter, then go ahead, click this button right up here, and that way you're notified as we release new courses, products, specials, and discounts as well. Now, if you want to just subscribe to us on YouTube, then just click my face down below and you'll be subscribed on YouTube. Thanks again for joining me. Take a look at our course on the Options Mastery Iron Condors course if you're interested in learning more about Iron Condors, and I'll see you in the next video.